You don't need to choose between enjoying your holidays and staying on track with your health and fitness. For most people, myself included, the holidays include a lot of travel, parties, time away from our consistent routine. And this can make it feel like our health and fitness goals are really getting away from us. The problem that most people run into is that they use that time to kind of go on a bender and then they don't really get back on track because they feel like they've strayed so far away that it's just hopeless. Now, before I get too far into where most people go wrong and how to correct it and all the details around that, I do have a quick one page holiday survival checklist that you can follow to help you navigate the holidays. If you're interested in that, you can check out the link in the description. Now, let's talk about where most people go wrong. Over many years of coaching clients, talking to friends and family, and personal experience, I can say it really generally boils down to one thing, which is an all or nothing mentality. What happens is we go into the holiday season knowing that we have all these social events that are generally centered around food, sometimes alcohol, and we feel like we just can't stick to our plan, so what's the point? We give up totally. We go off the rails, we go crazy with our food, we go crazy with alcohol, we stop working out, even though the holidays really encompasses maybe 3 to 7 days total. We spend 2 to 3 months just kind of on a binge. Then we think, January 1, I'm back on top. I'm going to get right back to it. And we over restrict to compensate. What happens then is we feel like we can enjoy life. So then we go back into another binge a couple months later. And we just rinse and repeat the process throughout the year. Now, if this sounds familiar, that's because it's what happens to most people. We don't find that consistency. We just kind of go on this roller coaster that keeps us running through the same loop over and over and over again. So what the strategy is moving forward is to figure out how do we bring consistency to the holidays and other months throughout the year. How do we go from totally going off the rails to finding a place of consistency, not perfection, and learning to enjoy the things that are around us and then getting right back on track so that we can actually start seeing the progress that we want instead of wishing we had it. And in the spirit of that, let's talk about the first strategy for navigating the holiday season, which is picking a couple daily anchor habits. What I mean by this is we're going to pick 1 to 3 things that we can ensure that we do on those days during the holidays that still progresses us in the direction that we want to go. This can be things like a step goal, a hydration goal, your protein goal, getting a 15-minute workout in. With this, we're not aiming for perfection. We're just aiming for not falling off the tracks completely. Finding 1, 2, 3 things that is realistic for us to accomplish during this time frame and making sure that we get them done that day. Now, for the most part, this applies to the actual holiday event days. So think about the days that you're actually celebrating Thanksgiving, the days that you're actually celebrating Christmas or other holidays during the season, not for the whole 2 month span. On the other days, we still want to be trying to stick to our plan as much as possible, but also taking that same mindset of it's okay if I'm not 100% perfect. I'm just trying to keep getting these small wins that move me in the right direction. In the long run, what this ends up doing is helps you to understand that the only way to fail is to give up. And that if I just keep coming back to the goals that I set out to in a timely manner, I will see the progress that I want. So pick a couple small things that you can do on those holidays and just win at those. And then the next day, just get back to your plan. The second thing we're going to focus on is how do I handle my food on the actual holiday event day? So the focus here is bringing some intention and some awareness to the meal, but also still enjoying the food and the company around you. We don't want to turn this into a free-for-all, but we also don't want to be super restrictive and feel like we missed out. So how do we approach our nutrition? Well, there's a couple simple strategies that I use to really kind of work both ends of the spectrum of enjoyment and staying on track. So first, it's all about the first plate that you have. In that first plate, I want you to focus on high protein and trying to get some fruits and vegetables in there. More often than not, there's turkey or ham or ribeye or some kind of meat that you can take a good sized portion of. And then there's usually some kind of veggies. This first plate is kind of really setting the intention behind your eating and working towards your normal nutrition goals. After that, I want you to take just a 5 to 10 minute break, and then you can go up for seconds. And in that plate, that seconds plate, this is where you can kind of go into the other foods that you want to. Now, the trick here is because you had a high protein and hopefully high vegetable first plate, you'll probably be a little bit more full. So when you go to enjoy those other foods, you'll be less likely to overeat or overindulge. After that, it's really just about enjoying the holiday. I don't want you to go in and think, oh my God, I got to do punishment cardio tomorrow to burn off all these extra calories. No, we're just going to get back on track. If possible, a small bonus would be doing a little bit of movement after you eat on the holiday, but even that's not required. So again, we're just going to focus on a high protein first plate, let that sit for 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to enjoy the second plate. And during that time, we're present with our meal and present with the people around us. We're enjoying our family, our friends, and the holidays, and just putting a little bit of effort into our nutrition, knowing we can get back on track tomorrow. Now that covers the nutrition, so let's talk about exercise. The first thought is the whole week around a holiday is usually pretty crazy. Our schedules are totally upside down with work, with family, with travel, things like that. So how am I supposed to find time to exercise? And the truth of fact is, you just figure out what the minimum amount you can do is. This week is not necessarily about trying to push progress. It's more about trying to maintain. So even if that looks like doing one 15-minute at-home workout for that week, that's a huge win. We don't want to totally give up, but we also want to be very aware of the fact that there's a lot of things changing right now. And if I beat myself up because I couldn't stay exactly to plan, I'm not going to be very eager to get back to plan. So what I want to do is just do what I can and then get back on track as soon as you can. It's that simple. We don't need to worry about 3, 4, 5 days in the gym. It can be 15 minutes at home one time during that week. And I promise you, you will be fine as long as you get back to your routine the next week. So in essence, the theme here is just trying to do what we can. And the important piece of this is actually the mental side of it, is treating yourself with compassion. Just like if your best friend were to tell you, hey, I wasn't 100% on plan during Thanksgiving, but I did still hit my protein target, you would probably cheer them on. So why don't you cheer yourself on for the same thing? We need to come from a place of love and understanding when we go through this process, because if we start to feel shame and guilt and all these bad feelings, we're not going to want to repeat that process, which means we're just going to fall off the rails and go back to doing something else and just ignoring the fact that we're not pursuing our goals. So to be really successful with this process, just remember, be compassionate about what you're doing and celebrate the wins that you do accomplish, not focus on the losses of getting off plan for a little bit. It's okay that we step away from our plan, enjoy the food, enjoy the people, as long as we get right back on. And in that meantime, we're just getting the wins that we can. And that's going to vary person to person. So I want you to go into this holiday season setting really realistic expectations around what you can accomplish and being okay with that. Celebrate it, in fact. The fact of the matter is you didn't give up and you kept working on it, and that's huge. And then once the holiday is over, then you can get right back to your plan. Now, if you don't currently have a plan, that's a different story. And if that's something you're interested in, I actually have another video, which I'll put probably, this side, all about how I start coaching with clients. It's a 30-day plan. It has workouts. It has nutrition advice. It includes pretty much everything that you'll need. So if you're at a place where you need a plan, you can check that video out. But otherwise, feel free to grab the holiday survival checklist in the description below and comment below with what your wins are going to be during the holidays. What things will you be focusing on? All right, guys, I appreciate your support, and I will talk to you soon.